welcome to our live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park, Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and the surrounding area from Nemacolin to Cranberry Wexford. And thanks for all the likes on Facebook. 6,760 likes. Appreciate that. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Got Chip Hayner back this week. Smoking Jim Frazier's here. Got his hat brim up there so you can see his eyes. For 6 years, 6.5 years, I've had people go, can you tell Smoking Jim to do something with that hat because we can't see his face? So now Smoking Jim did the opposite of what he told me white guys do with his hat. Most guys put a curve in the hat, black or white. Smoking Jim got it straight across and bent back. So you're looking.
So now he's got his hat lit up. And he's got the pizza in front of his face.
You're looking fashionable, Smoking Jim Frazier. Well, I got some promos here. We'll start out with thank you to Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Appreciate that. Frank Fanera, 412-831-1900. They sponsor our show tonight. We appreciate that. Smoking Jim can't talk right now. He's choking down some of that pizza, but he'll be with you shortly. All right, we have the Bethel Park Flood Relief Family Fun Festival, where I'm emceeing that on August 12th. Check it out. They got all kind of baskets, sponsors, a lot of great things going on, raffles, you name it, it'll be there. Shady Mugs and my friend Bob Ridgway, their group will be singing. It's 4 o'clock to 7 at the Independence Middle School on Bethel Church. And we'll have a lot of activities, a lot of fun. That's coming up on August 12th. That's a Sunday. So check us out. Then we got Bethel Park Historical Society. The Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. They're a 501c3. They do a lot of great things in the Bethel Park community, even rent out some rooms for businesses and do different events throughout the year. So check them out. We end each show with Stay Joey Strong. That's in honor of Joey Fabus, who died from DIPG, brain cancer, and they're doing research on it. They just got a donation of $6,500. It'll go through brain cancer research. They've donated over $100,000. They're a 501c3 to find a cure for DIPG. So check them out. They got September, their 5K walk and run with superheroes. I'll be filming that again, so check that out at the high school in September. Another group, Bethel Park Community Foundation, has money for you from $100 to $5,000. Get an application online at bpcf.org and go to the meeting and plead your case on why your group needs money to help others in Bethel Park. Check it out, bpcf.org. Next, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. He put my head on Uncle Sam. I want you for BPTV, 412-831-3304. Tell Dave Cable that Uncle Al sent you to be a volunteer. Like we got Devin Shea here tonight. I don't know if anybody else came in, but he's a one-man wrecking crew with cameras, soundboard, and makes us look and sound good. So I want you for BPTV. Again, 412-831-3304. We're also sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. He sponsors What's on Your Mind. You can call him 724-348-4715 and get a hold of him. He works on anything and everything that runs on gas, so give him a call, 724-348-4715. That's Skeets. And the phone number for the Bethel Park, let me put this up. Oh, you already moved the camera. We're good. Bethel Park. Oh, is that Zach there? I saw him. Welcome back, Zach.
Gateway Zach.
He's Bethel Park Zach, Smoking Jim. We already settled that a couple weeks ago. That mother Didn't want to put up kindly with you anymore doing that. Contact Megan 412-260-6073 for the Bethel Park flood relief. And you can get sponsorships. You can get raffle baskets. They got a ton of great things coming there. Again, 412-260-6073. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
It's coming at you.
you got to see Levine. That was my Dez Bryant caught out of the air. I would love for Antonio Brown's dream to come true, and we can get Dez Bryant in here and have a great 1-2 punch.
We don't need him. James Washington.
James Washington's going to be great. I would trade Juju right now. I'd trade him instead of Martavis Bryant. I said that a long time ago. And,
Well, you've said it each week.
and he's hurt already. Missed all the mini camp and the OTAs. Who knows what's wrong with him?
He heard you
But
talk.
let's not mention about the selfish one who didn't even go to training camp, right? $14.5 million. Not enough money.
But I'm a little sad today.
What happened?
That's why I'm not wearing my Pirate hat. I'm wearing my Pittsburgh Penguin. I'm getting ready for the Penguin season because the Pittsburgh Pirates traded my favorite player, Austin Meadows. And I would say,
What about
and
Frazier?
I continue to say that you cannot win a world championship in Pittsburgh without a great white player. An everyday player, you need that. And the Pittsburgh Pirates just got rid of their great white hope in Austin Meadows, and I feel bad, and I wish them the very best. But I'm proud of the Pirate organization, and I can't wait to hear from our baseball experts, Chip Hayner and Al Levine, the talking machine. And I kind of agree with what Chip's been saying all year long, even though the Pirates did opposite, is you can't get rid of your great minor league players and to win today. The Pirates had some great young players, and they were building a foundation that would have been very good down the road. But let's see what Chip has to say. But what's on my mind is...
Oh, I thought that was on your mind. You're
what's
sad.
What's on my mind is the top 10 teams for 2018 NFL football season. It's NFL football time, so I want people to know if they want to put a couple of dollars down early. I got some stone cold lead pipe smoking Jim Locks. And first of all, I'd like to say hi to my main man, Zach is here, along with Devin Shea. I don't know if the Rookie of the Year is here today.
No, he's not.
Oh, right.
He's boycotting you for a month.
Yeah, he's gay until you, fall in line with the Pirates and their.
And we got to find out from
Okay,
Zach
then.
how him and his family enjoyed the zoo, thanks to the Pittsburgh Pirates giving me free
No,
zoo
thanks to
tickets.
Smoking Jim Frazier. Somehow he connived 900 tickets or whatever he got from the Buccos and 300 tickets for the zoo.
Only 99. They shorted me 201, so I told them I will not accept free tickets next year. You can save those 900
There's nobody
if they
in their
don't make
right
good.
mind that would even say that.
If they don't make good on that
You know why you're not going
201.
to get them next year? Because people are actually going to buy them next year.
All right.
Smoking Jim, you don't even make sense. Who in their right mind would refuse thousands of dollars of free Bucco tickets? You
Well-
got them and didn't want them.
Yeah, that's true. But here's my
Sorry,
top.
Smoking Jim. I didn't like to steal your thunder. Go give us the top 10 A, B, C, and D.
Top 10 teams for the 2018 season. All you guys that want to put a couple dollars down, you can win some money on this. 10C, Houston Texans. 10B, Green Bay Packers. 10, the Red Rifle Cincinnati Bengals. Number 9, San Francisco 49ers. Now that Jimmy G is dating a porn star.
What does that have to do with it?
Number 8, the San Diego Chargers.
They're the Los Angeles Chargers.
Los Angeles now. Los
They've been.
Angeles
Well, it's
Chargers.
only been that way for 18 months.
He missed it.
Nothing gets past you.
Number 7, the Minnesota Vikings. Number 6, part of the Elite Eight, the number 6 team in the world, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 5, the Philadelphia Eagles. Pittsburgh is now the second best team in the state of Pennsylvania, but top 6 in the world. Number 4, the New England Patriots. Number 3, Jacksonville Jaguars. And here is your Super Bowl representatives for 2018, the Los Angeles Rams versus John Gruden and the Oakland Raiders. Martavius Bryant, MVP of the Super Bowl, win or lose. And that's what's on my mind. You had it here. Super Bowl, Raiders versus the Rams. Everybody want to tune into that.
And the disclaimer is when Smoking Jim has his mortal lock, bet the opposite. He gave you 13 teams, I think, because it was top 10, but there were like 13. No, maybe 14. But check that list again. You can watch this show again. It'll be on a couple more times, so check it out. Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier, for what's on your mind. Now, let's go to Chip Hayner, who's back from business. What's on your mind, Chip Hayner?
Well, here's all I got to say about Jim's stone cold locks. Well, he's got the stoned part right. But, okay, so Jim already, let the cat out of the bag. Pirates made significant moves today. Major trades. They traded Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow and a player to be named later for Chris Archer, major league caliber starting pitcher who will go right into the top 5. They will have control of him for 3 years following this year. So not only will he help the Pirates win now, he'll also help them win over the next 3 seasons following now. They also made a big move and picked up a relief pitcher who, for the Texas Rangers this year, has 24 saves out of 25 chances. So he's a proven arm in the bullpen, a power pitcher, 97 mile an hour plus. Plus he's got a
slider.
He's got an off-speed pitch that is definitely a swing and miss pitch. So not only did the Pirates bolster the areas where they were the weakest, they had to give up some talent to do it, but Austin Meadows, unfortunately, I'm not from the same school that Jim is. I don't think 2 weeks make a great career. So I wish him well in his major league endeavors.
I'm not from Jim's school either because it's homeschool.
And I wish him well in his endeavors, and I hope he has a fruitful major league career. Wish him nothing but the best. But it was in the Pirates' best interest to move him, as well as the other pieces that they moved. And it's going to be an interesting next 2 months here down at PNC Park. Pirates definitely have a chance at being postseason eligible this year. They definitely got the missing pieces that they needed. So more to come, and we'll talk more about the moves that the Pirates made in Bucko Talk here later in our show. But what is on my mind? I personally, and it's well documented, have never been a fan of LeBron James. Everybody talks about he's the greatest of all time, and he may be the greatest player in the NBA now, but I don't think somebody that's been to the championship game 10 times and only coming away with 3 wins can be considered to be the greatest of all time. But LeBron James finished his second stint in Cleveland, and he did bring a championship to that hapless city. As a parting gift to the town that he was raised in, LeBron James did something that I must admit I was very impressed by. And, some of these professional athletes that make hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars should take
notice.
Take note and maybe follow in his footsteps. But LeBron James left Akron, Ohio with the LeBron I Promise School. This is a school where there will be free tuition, free uniforms, a free bicycle and helmet, free transportation to the children within 2 miles of the school, free breakfast, lunch, and snacks, food pantries for the families, GEDs and job placement service for the parents, and guaranteed tuition to the University of Akron for every student who graduates.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this guy,
That's strong.
that is an amazing give back to the community, because not only is that giving something back to the community, that's giving something back to future generations. And education is something that you can't put a price on. Well done, LeBron.
Sounds like DeBry. Is that DeBry? Graduating in February. But maybe now Dexter Manley can get his GED from there. The parents can, right?
I don't know about that, Jim, but I'm going to tell you something.
You got to go to school there.
Name another athlete that has given back to his local community the way he has. And
He can't.
the list begins and ends with him. And like I said, I am not a LeBron James fan,
Dale
but I got to
Carnegie.
tip.
Dale
I got to tip
Carnegie.
my hat to
He
him.
never played
Dale
ball.
Carnegie.
Dale never played ball.
Dale Carnegie.
You don't even know he wrote some books. He didn't have a school.
Library.
He wrote the books. I've read them.
Who opened the library? Carnegie Library. Who's that for?
That was
You missed-
Andrew Carnegie.
Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah, but he did something. He did something nice. He spent all his money because he felt guilty about how he mistreated the workers and their families and stuff, and closed them down. And then he gave people libraries, but they had to pay for them.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Some of them went broke after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No jobs in Ohio anymore.
Smoking Jim, always looking for the negative. Mr. Non-optimistic, Smoking Jim Frazier. Thanks, Chip. I appreciate that.
Good job.
What's on my mind is I bleed black and gold, and the Steelers opened up their camp, and we've got preseason football coming. We got all these things coming together. I don't care if it's Le'Veon Bell's last year or not. They're going to run the wheels off that bus because there's no doubt about it. James Conner said he's ready to play this year. He just wants the opportunity, and I don't care what Smoking Jim says about him being a brittle brother, but he's willing to play, and he said it. And he did beat cancer and come back from that and had a nice career at Pitt. So we'll see what James Conner and anybody else can do. And all the stuff that we hear, Le'Veon's definitely about himself. There's no doubt about it. He may have got the wages up for the other guy with Gurley. Todd Gurley got the nice contract there with the guarantee. So he did help somebody else. We'll see what happens next year when Le'Veon's out there in the market by himself. But that's what's on my mind. Go Steelers. I'm optimistic this year. Who cares if the defense is still the same and they're trying to make safeties into linebackers? We'll wait and see. Oh, sorry, I slipped up a little.
You mean Le'Veon next year when he's on crutches?
Yes, they will do it. And we'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Stay tuned.
Hi, Bethel Park. Remember me? My name is Jason Planitzer. I was the host of a little show here. You may have seen it. It was called The Jason Planitzer Show.
What would you say your experience at BPTV, how has that had an impact on your life?
I found my voice. I learned how to be funny. I learned how to create things. I learned how to collaborate with people here. I developed an interest in film and comedy and making videos. It stuck with me. It continued through my life. I got into working on motion pictures. I now I'll produce small videos. I'll work with producers on commercials, television projects, feature films. I scout locations on TV shows and movies, which involves me reading scripts, finding the locations that need to be shot, and collaborating with the director and production designer to find the perfect spot. It all started at BPTV for me.
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Thanks, Chipper. Thanks, Devin Shea, Rookie of the Year out there. No, we got a new
That's
Rookie of the Year.
CTE. No,
we
he's
got my
not.
main man Zach. You see that backflip he
Yeah.
did right in here in the BPTV studio.
Yes, he did on his phone.
And his sister's a champion synchronized swimmer.
We don't know if she's a champion.
Well,
She is now.
But my fiction and fact from Smoking Jim Almanac goes all the way back to 1991.
Wow.
1991. That's
27 years ago.
Yeah.
Jim was just a teenager.
Yeah, I was in.
He was in diapers.
Yeah, Paul Hackett was the head coach at Pitt at the time.
Yeah.
And Pitt had, of course, they had a couple outstanding gateway guys there. Mike
course.
Livorio, who would have been a senior, but he got redshirted. And he would have been a first-round draft choice. Mike was about almost 6'6", 305 pounds. And don't forget, Pitt had a number of first-round draft choices on their offensive line. But he got busted with steroids, so he didn't get drafted.
Oh, how could
and,
that happen?
Started doing. He became a bouncer. Became a successful bouncer. But the player of the year, high school player of the year, was still there, Curtis Bray. And he was being coached by the bum Marvin Lewis, who had no idea how to coach linebackers even then.
He has no idea how to coach the Bengals either.
Yeah, exactly. And they had some great players on that team. Like you might have heard of Alex Van Pelt, Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
Was on that team.
Especially Curtis Martin's
How about
highlighted.
the career student was on that team?
Who?
Mike McCarthy was a graduate, about a 30-year-old graduate assistant. But that career student,
I met his father last week.
No. His brother passed away a couple years ago, a lawyer. Died.
I met his mother and father, Mike McCarthy's. Yeah, they live over in Greenfield.
Good. Yeah, his brother was a very successful lawyer playing handball in the morning or whatever, racquetball. What do you guys white guys play? Handball, racquetball?
I don't know. I'm not white.
And he dropped dead. So very sad. Only 42 years old. But McCarthy was a pretty good football player, but a career student, still in graduate school in 1991.
Don't be so disrespectful of the education, Smoking Jim.
They also had outstanding defensive coordinator on that staff, Sal Sinceri. You remember his son ended up playing. Sal Sinceri was a great high school player for Central Catholic.
Is he still coaching down in Alabama?
Who knows what he might? Yeah, I think he is. I think Sal's still
on Saban's staff.
Yeah. So he's still around, I believe. Great guy. And how about Skip Pete was the running back coach? It was Rodney Pete's younger brother. Was the running back coach, so he tutored Curtis Martin, and he was useless as well. But
Curtis Martin or
Skip.
Oh, okay. Because I was just
Skip
wondering.
Pete, yeah.
He went into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but he ain't getting in the City League Hall of Fame. He will not get. Again, Curtis Martin, if you watch it, or his friends watching this on YouTube or on TV, Curtis Martin will never get it as long as I'm on the committee. But anywho, a guy that could outthrow. I spent a lot of time with 91. He could outthrow Alex Van Pelt, was the wide receiver coach, and his name is, he may win a Super Bowl this year, John Gruden. And I remember going up to John Gruden talking to him. I said, man, you can really throw the ball. And we got to be real good friends because I found out that he played at Dayton. And when I was in college, we played against Dayton. But then he told me he was like 7th or 8th string quarterback. So I'm like, I don't remember. I didn't see the pregame warm-ups. Didn't see your throwback.
They forgot to tell you he was in diapers when you were playing.
Yeah. So John Gruden was a great coach. Even back then, you could tell the talent. I couldn't really tell that much from Mike McCarthy because, like I said, he was pretty much just getting everybody buckets of water, stuff like that, as a graduate assistant. But John Gruden was not the quarterback coach. He was the wide receivers coach. And he moved on after 1991. I was a little sad to see him move on. But Mike McCarthy ended up getting a full-time job as the wide receiver coach for the University of Pittsburgh. So, and the reason I brought up John Gruden is because I really believe he has an advantage in coaching that no other coach has. John Gruden was a Monday Night Football guy who had access to watching the practice facilities before the Monday night game. They would go the week before, and he could watch the practice of all these great coaches and teams. So John Gruden really, I think, is going to come back as a better coach, especially if he signs Khalil Mack. And if I'm the Steelers, I'm going to trade Le'Veon Bell for Khalil Mack.
Good.
Because John Gruden don't care about defense. He only cares about offense. But John Gruden, the guy who studied, no other coach can do this. There's nobody that's going to let a coach in on their practice. But since he was a color analyst for Monday Night Football, he has an unfair advantage. I think he got a good team in Oakland, and I'm predicting because of Martavis Bryant, they're going to the Super Bowl. And Martavis Bryant, there's been one losing player that won the MVP, Chuck Howling, for the Dallas Cowboys. So Martavis Bryant can win. He's going to win MVP whether they win or lose in Oakland.
Really?
Almost like T.O. should have won it that year for
Now,
Philly.
for all you gamblers out there or people want to start betting, do the opposite.
How did he do on his bets? Did he cover the spread on those Monday night games? Because I'm sure he went to the Bill Belichick school, stacking the deck.
We will find out. Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back.
Missed the
a little hiatus. Work called. I had some responsibilities, but what I decided my trivia would be on this week is what has been going on in the last week in professional sports. And last Saturday, Cooperstown, New York, Major League Baseball inducted some new honorees into the Hall of Fame, and this Saturday, the NFL will be inducting another group into the NFL Hall of Fame. So I was going to kind of run down the gentlemen that made it into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown, and kind of give you their accomplishments. First off was Vladimir Alvino Guerrero, born February 9th, 1975. 6'3", 235 pounds, batted right, threw right, earned votes on 92.9% of all ballots cast in his second year of eligibility. For his career, he batted .318, 2,590 hits, 449 home runs, 1,496 RBIs, a .533 slugging percentage in 16 seasons for the Expos, Angels, Rangers, and Orioles. 9-time All-Star, had 39 doubles, 39 home runs, 124 runs, and 126 RBIs to win the 2004 American League MVP award. 8-time Silver Slugger Award winner, hit 300 or higher 13 times, drove in 100 or more runs 10 times, connected for at least 30 home runs 8 times. Kind of reminded me a bit of my idol, and one of the best bad ball hitters that I ever saw, Manny Sanguillen. He was a free swinger and a bad ball hitter who slammed 126 first pitch homers and struck out just 985 times in his career. 985 times in 16 years. And I think Aaron Judge for the Yankees in his second season might be close.
He could be.
All right. Next up, Trevor William Hoffman. 6'1", 200 pounds, batted right, threw right, received 79.9% of the vote, Hall of Fame vote. After missing by only 5 votes last year, drafted by the Reds. The 1989 amateur draft, was a minor league infielder for 3 seasons before becoming a relief pitcher. In 18 years, mainly with the Padres, appeared in 1,035 games, 61-75 record, and registered 601 saves. Second all-time to Mariano Rivera's 652. A well-deserved entrance into Cooperstown.
Sure.
Next, on the Veterans Committee, voted in was John Scott Morris, otherwise known as Jack Morris, right-handed pitcher, was the hero of the 1984 World Series, won World Series titles with not only the Detroit Tigers, Minnesota, and Toronto. So he won 4 World Series titles with 3 different teams. 254 and 186 record, 2,478 strikeouts. A well-deserving candidate. Next up, Alan Trammell, shortstop. One of the greatest double play combinations that I've seen in my lifetime was Alan Trammell and Sweet Lou Whitaker. For the Detroit Tigers, they had one of their best years, 1984, when the Tigers led from day one of the season, were in first place from day one of the season, and won the World Series. Never spent a day out of first place that whole year.
Wow.
So that's a pretty impressive statistic that they got there. And I guess I cut off a couple of pieces of page on this. So
Yeah.
next up, we're going to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame inductees this week.
Take your time.
No. The 2 others that are very deserving. Major League Baseball. Larry Wayne Chipper Jones, 6'4", 210 pounds. First round draft pick in the 1990 Major League. In 19 seasons with the Braves, 2,726 hits. 1,055 for extra bases. Batted .303 with 468 home runs. 1,623 RBIs, 150 stolen bases, 8-time All-Star third baseman, was a force for most of Atlanta teams that won 13 division titles and only 1 World Series. In 1999, he had 45 homers, 41 doubles when he won the National League MVP award, and then a home run hitter who was not tainted by the steroid era, Jim Thome. Jim Thome, 6'4", 250 pounds. Played in 2,543 games, 2,328 hits, 1,583 runs, 612 home runs.
Wow.
1,699 RBIs in 22 seasons. The Indians, the White Sox, the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Twins, and the Orioles. Played first base and third base and was a designated hitter. Best season was 2002 in Cleveland. Hit 52 home runs, 118 RBIs, and led the American League in walks. Slugging percentage of .677, on base percentage of OPS of 1.122, and batted .304 with an on base percentage of .445. He hit 17 home runs that year in the postseason. Okay, so next up, I want to touch on the Football Hall of Fame.
All right, take your
Before I
time.
go to this year's Hall of Fame inductees, I asked my friend Jim a question and just want his humble opinion. There's 3 first-time eligible candidates for the 2019 Hall of Fame. And of the 3 of them, I believe one of the 3 will be a first-time, first-ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, and I'll give you the names.
Well,
And you tell me who you think.
Reed's going in first ballot.
There's Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, and Ed Reed.
All 3 first ballot.
All 3? I'd have to tend to disagree with you there, but it would probably be Ed Reed first, because I do believe that even though, as a Steeler fan, I have a soft spot in my heart for Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed was probably the best safety in football that I've seen in my lifetime.
Free safety.
Well, he
I would.
he was a ball hawk like nobody else I've ever seen.
I would take Paul
Krause?
Krause. I would take Paul Krause over him.
Okay.
Ed Reed was a better hitter than Krause, but nobody But Gonzalez is the best out of those three. Ed Reed and Champ Bailey, in
Really?
my opinion. Tony Gonzalez, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go through the Hall of Fame inductees for this week. So, the enshrinees this year will be linebackers Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, wide receiver Randy Moss, safety Brian Dawkins. Also voted in on the senior list were Robert Brazile, who played from 1975 to 1984,
Black guy.
and a former Packers offensive lineman, Jerry Kramer.
Should have been in.
And Bobby Beathard, a longtime general manager who was voted in as a contributor. So these men will all be at the induction ceremonies and will get their just rewards. They will be presented with their gold jackets.
I think you missed somebody.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you don't show up at the Hall of Fame for your induction, then my humble opinion is you don't deserve to be in it. Okay? So somebody's going to be at the University of Tennessee's Chattanooga. 12 people will be sitting there with their pom-poms rooting them on. But he won't get the recognition that the other honorees do because they are showing respect for the game. They are showing respect for the Hall of Fame. And if Cry Me a River, Terrell Owens, wants to cry some more because he had to wait 3 years to get elected into the Hall of Fame, then cry some more, Terrell. But I don't have to look at your face in the induction ceremonies, and neither will the rest of the world. So have your slice of pie and choke on it.
Thanks, Chip Hayner. Appreciate that.
That was good. That was good stuff.
On location, August 13th, 9:30, Brookline Boulevard, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. We'll be there, 7:30 to 8:30. We'll get $5 large topping pizza, $5 large hoagies. Be there on the 13th, 7:30 to 8:30. We do our show. Can't thank Frank Venera enough for having us out there. We got some guests scheduled. We'll see if they can make it for that day. If not, we'll have to scramble for some new ones. Smoking Jim, check your list twice. We'll see what we can do. If Rick Steigerwald can't make it, we'll have to maneuver around a little bit, but it should be a great show. And check us out. Come out there. It's entertaining. You get to hear and meet Smoking Jim Frazier with his reverse discrimination picks. And who knows what? Maybe he'll come up with something else. You never know. It's always entertaining, and that's sponsored. What's on Your Mind? Sponsored by Skeets Lewandowski of Skeets Service Station. So we'll have some fun August 13th at Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Be there, and we'll be back with some Bucko talk.
I've shown an interest in making home movies. Me and some buddies would just grab a camera and you just start making these videos, and then you realize at some point that this isn't just a hobby anymore. It's something that you actually want to pursue, and there's this great facility right down the road, BPTV. A lot of people will try to do these productions on their own, and one of the things they don't have is the equipment, you know, but right here is everything that you need in one nice little bundle. There's lights, cameras, reflectors, dollies, all kinds of little knickknacks. Like anything that you'd want to use that you would need for a production, you have it right here. Like it's all right here. You can make your own feature movie just with the stuff from this studio. Come meet Dave Cable, let him show you around, and I think you'll realize that this is something that you could fall into regardless of your level of expertise, whether you're a beginner or even if you're a more advanced learner. There's something here for everyone, and I feel that you just need to come through and just be a part of the experience and just watch and learn, and you know, let Dave be your guide. BPTV. Come volunteer. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be here.
BPTV. Come on in, make a show. It's still fun after all these years.
Welcome back. Thanks, Chief. Hope you enjoyed that dessert. And shout out to Chris, who was at Olive Oil's Pizzeria, getting 2 pizzas while we were getting our pizza at Olive Oil's Pizzeria. So, Chris, hope you're enjoying the show like you do. And thanks for being a viewer of our show. He was at Olive Oil's Pizzeria when I picked up ours. Bucko Talk. Buccos are playing tonight. You got a good series against the Cubs going on. Maybe we can do to the Cubs what we did to the Brewers and move up in this serious series now that we got a couple new pitchers, like Chip brought you up to speed on that. Smoking Jim found out the color of the pitchers.
They're both African American, and
Yeah.
Jim is.
Both of them.
Oh,
Wow.
huh? Wow. No, but let's talk about what the Pirates did. All we have been hearing, or all I've been hearing for the last 4 months, is that the Pirates don't want to win. They're not committed to winning. They're not willing to trade any of their prospects. They're not willing to spend any money, and blah blah blah.
Hold
blah,
it. Plus,
blah.
bottom line Bob.
But
You're bottom line Bob all day long.
the Pirates.
Busy.
The Pirates actually made themselves a better team by getting rid of Andrew McCutchen and Garrett Cole over the winter. They were able to pick up Corey Dickinson, who's been nothing but a pleasant surprise.
Consistent.
And has played an adequate left field. He's not. I don't think he's going to win a Gold Glove, but he's making the plays that need to be made. And more importantly, he's batting .319 for the year. And even though he went probably 6 weeks without hitting a home run, he's now got 11 home runs. He hit 6 in the last 3 weeks. And the Pirates outfield throughout the month of July was the most productive outfield in Major League Baseball. That is Gregory Polanco, Starling Marte, and Corey Dickinson. And so, when we were playing the Indians last week, Marte on a 17-game hitting streak. Isn't it interesting how the Indians pitcher plunked him on the hand and kind of derailed Starling Marte for a few days?
Yeah.
Because when somebody's that's hot, he was hitting everything that was thrown at him. And that cooled him off a little bit. Corey Dickinson tweaked a hamstring, and he's rehabbing that. But, what the Pirates needed to do, after going on an 11-game winning streak, after the team was challenged by the general manager of, I guess the group he said was just not good enough. Well, they proved him wrong. They went on an 11-game winning streak and put themselves back into the playoff chase. They're only a couple of games out of the wild card spot, sitting 7 games behind the Cubs. Now, we've got a 2-game series against the Cubs. We're playing one tonight, one tomorrow afternoon. We have another off day on Thursday. By then, all of our new acquisitions should be on board. We've got a 3-game series against the Cardinals. And it looks like the Cardinals are starting to do a nosedive this year, which is uncharacteristic of Cardinal teams.
Yeah.
And they traded one of their star outfielders for 3 prospects today. And I think it was a disciplinary move, and he's not very happy. They traded Tommy Pham and got 3 prospects for him. And Tommy Pham was he was in the MVP voting last year. He was 11th. So, he had a very good year last year, and for whatever reason, the Cardinals fired a very successful manager in the middle of the season.
Yeah, which is rare.
Which is very rare for a team that's known for its stability. So you're wondering what is going on with the Cardinals. I don't care. What I care about is what goes on at PNC Park. The Pirates have made themselves a better team today than they were yesterday. They picked up a solid back end of the bullpen. End of the game, a closer. Keona Kaylee or something. I learned to pronounce it because we're going to see a lot of them.
And we needed that experience since we have a lot of these rookies in the bullpen, which they're doing well.
More importantly, 24 saves out of 25 opportunities this year.
Yeah.
Vasquez cannot save every single game that we need to have saved. Now we've got 2 shutdown guys to finish off games. Crick is doing an amazing job in the 8th inning. I was at the game Saturday night, and our bullpen between Santana, Crick, and Vasquez, they struck out 6 of the last 7 batters that they faced. That they faced, and I mean, what more can you ask for a bullpen? It was great to watch. Crick and Santana are both rookies. Can you believe that?
No.
They're performing at that level. So we've got two hammers to nail down wins in the end of the game, and we added a major league starter that will be one of our 5 men in the rotation. And most people say that he's either a number 2 or a number 3 starter. Pirates needed an experienced starting pitcher they could count on besides Ivan Nova, because we've got so many young guys in the rotation. And the arrow is definitely pointing up for the Pittsburgh Pirates now.
Can I ask one question, Chip?
Go right ahead.
Who do you think will sit in the rotation now? Who would you sit? Not Thompson, I hope.
Well, right now, you got Chad Kuhl that's been injured, and
Tommy John surgery.
and he has not even been allowed to throw yet. Okay, Nick Kingham could be the person that would end up sitting down. I would sit there and say, right now you'll have Tyon, you'll have Nova, you'll have Archer,
Williams.
Trevor Williams. Still, Nick Kingham could still be the 5th starter, but we'll see how this all plays out. Plus, you've got the Mitch Keller, who is the Pirates' number 1 rated prospect, who's rated number 15 in the entire Major League Baseball, the top 100. The Pirates did not have to part with him. People say that Mitch Keller is a can't-miss prospect, but you know what else they said? They said Tyler Glasnow was a can't-miss prospect. He got his opportunity to start.
Yeah,
he didn't. He dominated in AAA in the major leagues.
Just couldn't do it.
He didn't have the control. He was working out of the bullpen. He's been up and down, hot and cold, and you know what? He's going to go to a team where he's going to get a chance to play more frequently, and prospects, trading prospects, they have potential because they made it to the major leagues. But, when you can trade prospects to get major league caliber talent and can plug them into your lineup.
And use them out.
And then most importantly is with the reliever that we picked up, we have him for this year and 2 more years. Okay? And with Chris Archer, we have him for this year and for 3 more seasons. So, we've got control of these players. So not only can they help us win now, they can help us win over the next 2 or 3 seasons. And that's why it was worth trading Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow, because
don't go overboard.
No, it is.
Can we afford the roster in the future that we have now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What do you mean afford it? You got bottom line Bob. He got a certain budget there, and that's what he's sticking to. Come on,
more
man.
Importantly, what this has done for the Pirates organization, because they've been maligned all year, they've been criticized, they've been ridiculed by the man to my left more frequently than not. But
whether he lacks the knowledge or not, he's still ridiculed.
But you listen to local talk radio, and all they've done is hammer on Pirates, hammer on Bob Nutting, hammer on Neil Huntington, hammer on Clint Hurdle. And as it turns out, these guys really do know what they're doing. They did have a plan. The only problem is they didn't share it with the loudmouths on the radio. So subsequently, the Pirates have made moves that should put to bed the doubters for the time being. Now, what they have to do is they need to keep winning ball games. They got to keep playing the way they've been playing. They're 15-4 in their last 19 games.
Ain't bad.
You know, that's
Smoking Jim said it right now. Ain't bad.
But you know what? I mean, let's not forget. This is a team that started off the season 26-17. This is a team that's 15-4 in their last 19 games. This is also the same team that went 14-31 over a 45-game span.
That's where the criticism came in.
You know, let's before we decide to start hoisting any banners and making arrangements for a parade, you know, they've got to produce on the field. And I think what we got now is we've got a tight-knit group of players that have each other's back. Management has shown them that they have the will to win, that they're willing to make the moves necessary to give them the tools they need to win. Now it's up to the players that we have that are completely capable of beating anybody to keep playing quality
Who would
baseball.
you say is the leader of the team?
We're looking for that guy. I'm looking for him.
Yeah, I don't know who you would say. I'll tell you who the leader of the team is. Clint Hurdle. He's the manager of the team. Okay, because he's pressing all the right buttons lately. You got Corey Dickinson right now on the 10-day disabled list. He should be able to come off the list, I believe, Saturday, because they made it retroactive to last Wednesday. Josh Bell will not be eligible to come off the DL until Monday. He had an oblique injury. Fortunately for Corey Dickinson, they said that it was a very low-grade sprain of his hamstring. They wouldn't even call it a grade 1 sprain because he felt some discomfort, and instead of nothing ever went pop or anything like that, so they got him into the trainers. He's getting the care he needs. Hopefully he'll be back on. But Corey Dickinson was hitting everything that was thrown at him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was hitting doubles, triples, home runs. I mean, it didn't matter who was pitching to him or where they were pitching it. Yeah. You know, he was going the opposite direction. I mean,
sort of like Polanco. The team's been winning, and Polanco's been hitting. That's all we wanted.
And Polanco, it was just something as simple as adjusting where he was standing in the batter's box.
Yeah.
And here's what the thing is. People try to bust Polanco inside, and he's not moving from his position.
Sure.
And he's not chasing after those pitches inside. And most times, they're calling them balls.
Yeah.
And when he does connect with the ball, he's giving it a ride. Leads the team in home runs. Marte's number 2, and who's number 3? Corey Dickinson. So,
nice outfield. Nice outfield.
And,
They were rated the best in baseball.
And this would be the next move that I would expect to see the Pirates make.
Best in baseball.
Okay, I think Mr. Nutting will open up his checkbook and pen a contract extension to Corey Dickinson, even though we have him under contract for next year because he's arbitration eligible. You know what? He would be, I believe, worthwhile to extend for a couple of years. You could probably get him at an affordable price, and he fits in very well with the team and with left field in PNC Park.
Especially now that they stole Meadows from us.
They didn't steal him.
They didn't steal him. Jim. Unfortunate as it is, I root for the name on the front of the jersey. I don't care what the name on the back of the jersey says. And unfortunately, if you want to get talent out of another organization, you have to give something back.
Well, do you think that with the moves they made, you can at least make a wild card this year? Only 10 teams.
I actually believe.
Looks like the plan.
I actually believe that they would, that they would do that. But it's just like the NFL. Wild card teams have a shot to win it all.
Well, you won't win it all unless you got a great white player, and they got rid of the great white player.
We got Frazier back, Smoking Jim.
Who do you think?
Frazier's back.
Jim, he had 2 good weeks. The guy's never even played.
I've been hearing about him for 3 years.
Yeah, what did you hear about him? Please tell me. Did you hear about last year when he spent the whole year on the disabled list because he had injured hamstrings? You didn't hear that because you weren't listening.
And he wasn't hitting any home runs. And Smoking Jim, what happened to Frazier? He's back.
Is he?
Yeah, and he's been hitting the cover off the ball. But of course, he was your favorite player last week.
He didn't know. Smoking Jim didn't know. It got away from him.
You know what? I would have loved to have seen Austin Meadows. Maybe blossom into a major league star here in Pittsburgh. But there was no guarantees that he was going to.
I hate all forms of discrimination, or reverse discrimination. It's just as bad as any other.
That
kind
was
of
no discrimination.
man.
There was no discrimination, Smoking Jim. You're just saying it out there. How could that be discrimination? One way or the other. Come on, man. Well, at least we got that covered. I wanted to bring up a little boxing. Smoking Jim and I will be going to Rivers Casino Boxing on August 11th. Angelo Magnone may be a guest next Tuesday night. He's going to try to free up his schedule and come out. We'll talk some boxing that night if he comes out, but he's going to try to. So I invited him tonight. He couldn't make it, but he said it's possible on the 7th.
Little update from PNC Park. Pirates 1, Chicago Cubs nothing. Bottom of the 3rd. Freeze doubled in Polanco, who singled to right, and Francisco Cervelli is at bat.
My Cubbies.
Smoking Jim, you missed Freeze the other night, knocked in all 5 runs, including the walk-off winner.
I didn't know that.
See, you're missing this baseball. All you do is take your little shots at Chip.
It's football season now.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. You know how I can tell? The Steelers' injury list is growing.
You see that?
What
You
happened
see
to
that?
Ramon Foster?
How about Ross Cockrell? He snapped his leg right in half yesterday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for the Carolina Panthers.
Oh yeah, he's not with the Steelers anymore.
No, yeah, he broke his tibia and his fibia.
Wow.
Shocking.
What happened to the fat man, Ramon Foster, the weak link on offensive line?
He's injured. He'll be out 4 to 5
He
weeks.
act like he's,
Hyperextended knee.
yeah, anybody else would have walked off on that. And here he goes.
Well, he was a swinging gate and he fell down. He just swung over and couldn't get back up again.
a left guard that can pull. That's all we need.
Hey, they like him.
Yeah, I know.
B.J. Finney. He'll do the
He
job.
do the job. He won't miss a
He can
beat.
handle that.
Won't miss a beat.
Definitely. Well, we'll get some updates from Smoking Jim Frazier since it's preseason.
Oh, yeah, and you know what Ben did yesterday? He actually did a quarterback sneak in practice. They're going to break that one out on time.
It's in the book. It's in the playbook.
It's going to be the first play of the season, a quarterback sneak.
Wow. We're getting a little off tangent. We're almost out of the show. Thanks to Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We appreciate all of you watching our shows for over 7 years and even saying hi to us in the Olive Oils and other places around Bethel Park. Keep watching us on Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, Verizon 32 everywhere in the greater Pittsburgh area, plus Bethel Park.
Pirates
We appreciate that.
Nothing.
Buccos up 3-0. Wow,
felt
I
like
got to
it.
get home. We got to end this show. Stay Joey strong.